that patrol.
For two teams that play each other frequently throughout the year and across all sports, familiarity has begun to breed contempt. And for the third straight season, in the Section 4 4A section playoffs, the North Polars will face off against the Tartan Titans. Alongside Mike Peden, I'm Alex Westhead. And Mike, for two teams that play each other fairly equally, the two games previous to this one were not quite as close as they have been in years past.
Not quite as close, but a matter of depth was the separating factor. Tartan having a little more of it when you look at their roster. Antoine Kimmins going to Idaho State. Joseph Kirby, McKeel Weems. That being said, North St. Paul does have a couple of playmakers. You see one of them, DeJuan Carter. That was Brendan Langford Johnson, actually. But DeJuan Carter and Shaheed Mohammed, those are going to be the two to watch. Carter among the state leaders in scoring, and Mohammed a three-point threat. But Antoine Kimmins is not going to make it easy for them.
Both seniors in their own right, both experienced in this rivalry. Again, Tartan victorious two times, only two defeats on the season, those coming to Edina and Matamidi. And for the Polars, they enter this section matchup with a record of 16-10. As the opening tip is up in the air and underway, Tartan will maintain possession as they'll take the ball into the front court. Working around a screen, traveling just a little bit, dishes it further off, trying to go high off the glass was the Titans back the other way as the Polars collect that rebound early in the going. Langford Johnson, he got the offensive foul and it'll go back the other way.
Led too far with the elbow. Officials will get you if you push out too far like that. They'll give you a little bit of space, but not much.
Tartan will field here in their own backcourt. McKeel Weems at the back position there, pushing it back to the far wing. Interior passer looking for Antoine Kimmins. Out to the point. Look for Weems. Near wing now as they'll work the outside pretty well. It's Carney. Back further along for Dorian Singer. Singer working on what seems to be a augmented zone defense. Open look for three. Got it to go. Nice shot for Dorian Singer. Tartan on the board first. North St. Paul quickly back into their own front court. Langford Johnson working at the top of the key, trying to drive in. Two-point jump shot, rebound collected by the Titans as they'll go for the fast break back the other way. Kimmins just to the outside, another three ball. This one rims in and out. Rebound gotten to though by the Titans up in the air, and the ball out of bounds. Tartan ball.
Looks like Dorian Singer trying to test Tartan's three-point skills, and as you mentioned, with North St. Paul in that augmented zone, that's one way to beat it.
Top of the point. Singer.
It's a 1-2-2.
Weems back for Singer again. Top of the key. Here onto the near wing. So the Titans trying to work the ball into the interior. All the way back out. Singer will have it again. To the far side, further along. Kimmins. Further as they will continue to work the perimeter. Excellent defense by the Polars on the inside. Nice no-look pass here on the near wing. So continue to work the outside. A shot from three for Carney, no good. As it hit the part of the net there, and it'll go back out. Polars carry it back the other way. Here's DeJuan Carter up and in. A nice point there for the Polars to get on the board. 3-2, Tartan leads.
That was good defense, setting up good offense.
Carney further along. As Singer has it, dish it to the open wing. Open look for Weems, a little too strong, missed the net entirely. Can be taken back the other way by the Polars. Working in a rush, Muhammad. Further back now, DeJuan Carter. DeJuan Carter, one of the seniors for this team that we've seen play in this rivalry matchup so many times. It's kept alive, Langford Johnson. Tartan forcing them back well out to the perimeter. Carter. Runner, one-handed shot, rebound collected there, loose, and it'll be Tartan ball. Could have gone either way, but the Titans will hold on to possession.
Was Zippel was calling for it on that last possession for the Polars, but Carter couldn't see him.
McKeel Weems inside for Kimmins as they'll start the rush up into the front court. It's Kimmins with some speed, working around a ball screen. Another screen there thrown by the Polars. It's Kearney. Tries to get it there further, but a turnover and a fortuitous bounce there for North St. Paul as they'll carry the ball back the other way.
Joseph Kearney motioning to himself, saying, my bad. Felt he didn't communicate with Weems properly, but it's early. You don't want to have too many unforced errors, though.
Pressure defense here by the Tartan Titans. So they'll dish it down further. Muhammad. He'll cut it back, trying to work around. Nice interior pass looking for Teigland, and he gets it to go.
I love backdoor plays. The defense can't often see it coming, and Teigland was just waiting for it.
Setting up again in the front court is Tartan. Kearney had it down and low, got it for Kimmins now. Kimmins, sharp for three, and it's good. 7-4 Tartan, or 6-4 Tartan leads.
Sometimes you can put up good defense. North was able to read Kimmins on that switch, but sometimes you come up against a better offense.
DeJuan Carter around a couple of screens, lost the ball on the way. Teigland has it. He gets the whistle, the jump ball. Possession arrow points towards North, so they'll keep the ball in their own front court.
As you were saying, familiarity can breed contempt, and when you get to that third meeting of the season, there aren't any secrets to be uncovered. It's all about execution.
Three not strong enough over the backboard. It'll be Tartan ball. 14:09 to go here in this first half of play. Again, the winner of this one advances to play in the Section 4 4A semifinals. Those will be at Hastings High School, most likely against the Cretin-Durham Hall Raiders. Kimmins from three, got it. Step back three, a nice play by the young man.
Antoine Kimmins, do everything athlete. He was a heroic figure for football. You were there when he got that game-winning or game-clinching interception, and he's off to a good start here.
And Langford Johnson with a nice runner into the lane. 9-6, Tartan leads. Ball movement around the perimeter again. Kearney looking to alley-oop, doesn't quite get the connection, but the rebound forced back out. Kearney again from three, he got it! Tartan making it rain from the three-point line.
How many times in this sport, when something goes wrong, you see the team on offense get a little crazy? Tartan stayed composed and recovered and got themselves a three out of it.
Shahid Muhammad works around one man, nice running play there. He gets it to drop, and the Polars pull back to within four.
And that's going to be important for Mohammed. We know he can shoot three-pointers, but if he can drive down there, that might open up some space.
Kearney drills from three.
North St. Paul, they've got to get back on transition more quickly.
Here's Muhammad on the fast break, off the glass, rebound controlled, a nice up, back, and in for DeJuan Carter. The responses will get a timeout. Tartan here. The response from North St. Paul, every time Tartan hits a three, they seem to be hitting twos instead.
And that could build up Tartan's lead, but if I'm Mark Lingsbar, maybe this is why you're calling timeout. The fact that you're letting North St. Paul get back down quickly, they're able to respond right away, and sometimes after you score, you get a little lackadaisical, you get a little lax. The other team spots that, and you get a transition opportunity, as the Polars have done a couple of times.
Well, we have a moment. Let's take a look at the Section 4 4A bracket. Again, the 3-6 matchup here. And one of these teams will go off to play in the semifinal, either against Cretin-Durham Hall or Stillwater, most likely the Raiders. Meanwhile, also going on tonight.
I put money on that.
That's why. Most other games going on tonight, you would have, I believe it is White Bear Lake playing St. Paul Central over at White Bear Lake. And Eastridge, I believe, has Woodbury tonight?
Yes. Woodbury played them close, but Eastridge, fantastic season. And White Bear Lake, St. Paul Central, that's a good one. This is not going to be an easy section to get out of.
Runner in the lane, blocked shot, nice play by the Polars, but the whistle blows. Get a little extracurriculars after the whistle. It'll be a shooting foul, I believe. He'll get two shots, will Antoine Kimmins.
It is a shooting foul, and Kimmins, I don't know if he took exception to that. I didn't see a lot of contact from this vantage point, but you don't have to make a lot of it, even if you just graze the arm. And I think Kimmins maybe thought it was intentional or something. He seemed a little put off by that.
Well, I didn't see anything there, again, from my untrained eyes at times. I didn't see anything to warrant that extracurricular. It just seemed like a typical foul. Kimmins makes the first shot.
We're trained to announce, not officiate.
And, of course, we do thank the three individuals coming to officiate this game. If you'd like to find out more information on being an official, visit mshsl.org and look for Become an Official on their homepage. Kimmins 2 for 2 from the line, as the Tartan lead now up to 7. Polars out of their own backcourt. Langford Johnson working on that far wing. Throws a screen for Carter. Carter, runner into the lane. Euro step out of bounds. Stays here. Polar basketball.
But what a great play by Dante Aganwanye. How often when you get caught on the jump like that, you get hit with a foul? He stayed up and got the swat.
From the baseline, the Polars will try to throw the ball in. It's held down and low. As LaRon Thomas now into the game. Nice rebound collected by Langford Johnson. They can't get it to go. Racing for the ball into the crowd. We'll see which way it goes. It'll be Tartan basketball.
I hope that bench is going to protect that water cooler.
As the Titans will throw in. Weems got it in further here now. Antoine Kimmins. Kimmins, both teams using a full court press so far. Kimmins with a foul, counted and one. Back to the line for Antoine Kimmins.
When you look at Antoine Kimmins and his ability to create, both on passing and on the drive, it's amazing that he's only going to Idaho State, a D1 mid-major, but as we've seen in this sport, you don't have to go to a Power 5 school to make an impact, and Idaho State, I think they're going to get maybe one of the most underrated talents in the senior class.
26 points in the game on Friday, January 11th. And a month later, he followed that effort with a very nice effort, scoring 17.
17, 5, and 6.
Already on the scoreboard multiple times tonight, as the Polars will look to respond. Kenny Jordan, or I'm sorry, wrong roster I glanced at there. Ball gotten to here by Tartan, around a screen, around a full court press. So try to carry the ball up into the front court. Singer. And here on the far side, Singer has it back again. Brief screen thrown by Kimmins, but they'll have to go all the way back near center court. Further there, Weems. Ball here, we got a whistle, we got to travel. And the Polars will gladly take that one.
Common mistake at the high school level. Before a dribble drive, sometimes you forget to dribble the ball.
Ball to be inbounded right in front of the Polar bench. Can be gotten to here now. Brendan Langford Johnson, a junior, 6'3". Johnson slowly up the court, working around a couple defenders, has to go back. Gone here now. Nice shot from 3, but a foul. 3 on the line for DeJuan Carter.
That's a tough break if you're Kimmins. Carter had just enough space on the rotation. And Kimmins a little too late.
And you hear Mark Klingsborn yelling to Antoine Kimmins to stay back and not foul him on there. You certainly don't want to foul at the three-point line. The first one is good for DeJuan Carter.
What a season for DeJuan Carter. A bevy of 30-point games. And he had some clutch performances against Cretin-Durham Hall. Almost led them to a come-from-behind win. And De La Salle, it was shorthanded. Tyrell Terry couldn't play, but Carter was lights out that night.
Third shot upcoming. 2 of 3, almost got the rebound to the Polars, but now on a fast break, here comes Tartan back the other way. Pass looking for Kimmins, but he traveled again, and he'll be back the other way with the Polars ball.
And Kearney there took a little bit of a bunny hop on the way up, and sometimes when you're moving down so fast, it can happen. But again, unforced errors, if you're Tartan, that's something you want to clamp down on, because that is what can keep the underdog North St. Paul Polars hanging around.
Langford Johnson with the ball in his own front court. We were talking with a couple of fans before the game, feeling that both of these teams underseeded. As a nice run into the lane, picked up loose ball, but the Titans have it back the other way. Kimmins on the ball to the paint. He tried the dunk, but couldn't connect. A nice block by the Polars. Back the other way, another block by the Titans. Loose ball in the court, picked up by Tartan.
I hope you and I get an invite to this block party.
Singer on the three-point arc, dishes it here near side. Kearney for 3, missed it to the left. Rebound taken away. DeJuan Carter into the front court from the free throw line. Got it in and out. Still loose ball, batted back in play. And the Titans look to try to slow things down. Full court press, loose. I think we'll get a foul called here.
Going back to those blocks, though, you have to like the hustle both sides exhibited in transition. You know, on a fast break, a lot of folks might let it go. Okay, we'll get it back next time. And 2 big blocks, and that keeps the score even. So, you know, 2 big chances to shift the momentum, and both sides, they came to play.
Tartan will inbound up by 8. It's Kimmins out of his own backcourt. Looks to set the play. Kimmins here for Singer. Singer around traffic, working into the paint, off the glass. He got it to go. 22-12, Tartan leads.
Going back to the conversation about being underseeded, Tartan winning the Metro East. There were some folks that thought they should have gotten the 2, especially with Cretin-Durham Hall stumbling a bit late. But here's their chance to prove it.
3 ball, Sean West Simple, no good. Rebound controlled here by Tartan as they'll carry into the front court. It's Kimmins. Dishes it back out further for Kearney, then gets it back. Kimmins from 3-point range, he got it! The 3 ball raining. It'll be a timeout here called by Damian Johnson and the Polars as Tartan will extend their lead to 13.
3 triples now for Antoine Kimmins and North St. Paul. They've been trying to make that zone work on set plays, but if Kimmins continues to shoot the way he is from 3-point range, Damian Johnson might have to make some adjustments. We were talking before the game. Johnson, with a lot of experience playing for the Gophers, so high basketball credentials, usually in these matchups, you know, you've got something for Kimmins, but he's just one of those folks that you can drop a strategy for him, he's still going to find a way around you.
Well, and especially with how well Tartan is shooting from beyond the 3-point arc. You see the trend in basketball now where teams starting to take advantage of that defense and shooting from beyond the arc at times, where you're really, that stuff, it's become more and more difficult to defend as of late as well.
They call it the pace and space. 6 3-pointers already for the Titans, and there's a trickle-down effect. You know, a lot of these folks idolize, you know, the college game, the NBA. And when you see Steph Curry knocking down 3-pointers from anywhere on the arc, it starts to trickle down. Now, that's not to say these guys are shooting from 40 feet out, but there is a value to hitting the 3 ball. Well, it's worth an extra point, and it spaces the floor. So with Tartan already hitting 6 triples, I wouldn't be surprised if that opens up some things down low with North St. Paul having to respect that now.
Polars will inbound from their own baseline. Laurent Thomas gets it inside for Brendan Langford Johnson as he'll set the play. Carrying it out of his own backcourt, Langford Johnson dishes it further here now. A chance for Thomas. Around a screen, Muhammad from 3-point land. No good, hit the glass. As the rebound can be picked up by Tartan back the other way. Trying to move around. Kearney, runner, tried to pass. That's a block stolen away here by DeJuan Carter. Carter, nice little jump shot there, but the rebound again controlled by Simmons. Again, a lot of empty possessions here for both teams with the speed that this game has had. Ball is out of bounds, and it'll be North St. Paul basketball.
And you can't afford too many empty possessions, especially the 2 big names, Mohammed and Carter. Mohammed, I believe, 0 for 2 from 3-point range, and Carter struggling to find his stroke. They got to get more production out of them if they're going to hang around. They already trail by 13.
Here's Muhammad, who works around the screen. He'll have to take it back, trying to work in through the paint. Picked it up, put it down in low. Still ball up in the air, loose out now. Can be rebound control here by Tartan, as Antoine Kimmins will slow things down a little bit.
And what I'm seeing out of North St. Paul, even down low, they're not getting a lot of clean shots. You know, those layups, there's someone nearby, so there's always some form of contestant. That's not a word, contesting. Contesting, yes. I was about to say contestant.
DeJuan Carter into the paint. Try to go up too strong. It's a rebound controlled by Tartan. And again, every time that there's that empty possession for DeJuan Carter, that pushes the game further and further out of reach. Kimmins, though, shot a little too strong. Hit the back of the hoop. It can be picked up here now by North St. Paul.
We should note there's still a lot of time. They trail by 13, but you're right. Carter and Mohammed, they've got to get going.
Langford Johnson off the boards and up and in. And again, it's just they're hitting the back of the rebounds, but they just aren't able to finish. Another 3 ball for Tartan, too strong. Rebound gathered there by the Titans, or the Polars. Batted down right at the Tartan bench. It'll be Tartan basketball as Kimmins was battling there with Shahid Muhammad.
You and I were discussing one-game playoffs, how anything can happen, and North St. Paul, they're familiar with this venue, being conference rivals, the storied doubleheaders, one of the few conference rivalries to have that every year, so it's not like this gym is foreign to them, but for whatever reason, I don't know if they're rushing to layups, feeling a little more pressure, maybe that 13-point lead is getting to them, but they just look a little off kilter.
Kale Weems looking for somewhere to move the ball. All the way back out now for Kimmins. Kimmins for three again. Hit the iron on the near side. Can be gotten out back the other way now. Shahid Muhammad. Long pass looking further up ahead. It's gone to here by Wes Zimpel. All the way back out Muhammad with some space. Puts it up. Too strong. Rebound controlled by North St. Paul. So try to go. Shot waved off. He traveled. That's definitely what it looked like. And LaRon Thomas, another empty possession for North St. Paul as they still trail by 13. Juan Carter back into the game, seeming as though they'll keep him on the bench at a minimum. This ball to be inbounded here by Tartan. Weems for Kimmins now. As Kimmins will take it out of his backcourt. The full court press being employed here by North St. Paul. Wells dishes it back out here now. A chance Whalen. Further ahead for Binns as the Tartan bench starts to roll. Far side, Whalen. Looking for some assistance there as Kimmins guarded well. Antoine Kimmins here now for Binns. In the back as they continue to work the perimeter. Give him a cut, something please. Wells further now for Binns. As again, they'll continue to work around the perimeter, eating as much of the clock as they can. Whalen for three, got it! Solomon Whalen for three.
And Tartan, they're okay with eating up a lot of time. You may recall the moment they went viral against St. Cloud Apollo where they ate up 6 minutes of clock.
Into the lane, the shot waved off, offensive foul! And the ball headed back the other way.
North St. Paul seems committed to make the layup work. They're driving, and traveling violation on the last possession, a charge here, a bunch of missed bunnies, and Tartan's lead continuing to expand as a result.
Well, you see North St. Paul looking for the block. Foul to be called on Tartan, but they haven't been getting the calls if they're there at all. And now Tartan will have the ball back in their own front court. Here's Whalen for Kimmins. Kimmins further outside. Again, continuing to work around the perimeter. Trying to get around the foul called there. It'll be a foul called there. That's an offensive foul.
What happened there, number 22, Langston Binns for the Titans. He hit his defender's face with the arm, and that's what led to the offensive foul as he was moving the ball from left to right. You can do a lot of things to defenders. You can't hit them in the face.
16-point lead for Tartan. Ball inbounded as DeJuan Carter will take it out of his backcourt with some speed now. Trying to work his way into the paint. Carter puts it up, can't get it to go. Picks up the rebound though. Carter up and in, but the foul is called, and he should be headed to the line.
He is. He used the hesitation move. We see that a lot down low. You get the rebound, wait for a second, hope that a defender comes over, and then you can get the foul. And this is a much needed moment for the Polars, a chance to put up some points and get themselves settled down.
First one good for Carter as Muhammad will come back into the game, replacing Langford Johnson. Have a substitution as Kimmins will come out briefly. He'll be replaced by Kearney. And the second shot upcoming here for DeJuan Carter. In and out rebound. Loose can be controlled now by North St. Paul. Onto the far side. Carter loses the dribble briefly. There's now Carter. Dishes it back to the outside. They'll work the perimeter. Nice ball movement by the Polars. 4-3. And that's exactly the possession that they needed.
It's their most fluid possession in the last few minutes, and it couldn't come at a better time.
Here's Kearney working around the defense. All the way back now, Latrell Wells. Blocked briefly before they continue. Whalen working into the paint, dishes it back out. 4-3 again. He got it to go. Nice three-point ball from Langston Binns.
I was saying pace and space. And North St. Paul, bought the drive, and I don't know if we'll get a look at that. Set up an open 3-ball.
North St. Paul to inbound from the baseline.
8 triples now for the Titans in this half.
And like we've talked about before, Mike, if North St. Paul is only responding with 2s or empty possessions, it's not going to bode well for the Polars. In and out there again. Ball loose, rebound controlled by Tartan. We have a foul on the inside. Muhammad will get it. And I don't believe, I can't quite see the bonus from my vantage point.
That was the last foul to give.
Okay, so they will be close to the bonus.
And there's no clear path foul at the high school level, so North St. Paul alertly fouling Tartan there to prevent a fast break.
So Tartan will get the ball again out of their own backcourt. Let's field here now, Weems. Further along for Singer. Weems again for 3, unguarded. Weems too strong though. There's a loose ball. It was picked up here by North St. Paul. Muhammad can take it back to the front court. Muhammad in side pass for Tagland. In and out of the... Wow, we have a foul there too on a push.
That's what I call the double whammy. You miss the layup and then you foul 80 feet from the basket.
And so now that Tartan has reached the bonus, we'll start seeing them get the 1-and-1.
And for Tagland, he was wide open, was able to cheat the defense. He had everybody beat, and you can't put it in. Just another empty possession. We sound like a broken record, but North St. Paul, they knocked down a few more of these layups. They'd have a better chance of hanging with the Titans, and there's still a second half to be played, but it's just amazing that they're having this much difficulty converting down low.
Dorian Singer to take the shots, makes the first one. He'll get a second. As Kimmons returns the game for Tartan. Also back into the game, LaRon Thomas and Brendan Langford Johnson for the Polars. So you'll get the second shot here. Will Singer makes that one. That extends the lead, 33-16. Tartan leads North. As the Polars will take it out of the backcourt, working along that far sideline. Langford Johnson got to help with a screen. Interior pass, nice play, but they don't convert. The foul is called. Should get another Polar going to the line. As a foul, this time will be called on Langston Binns. They'll have LaRon Thomas shooting.
Now, I don't know how you would approach scheduling, Alex, but take a look at North St. Paul in the start to their season. They had 3 sectional foes: Eastridge, White Bear Lake, who's having a fantastic year, Cretin-Durham Hall, and then De La Salle, the #1 team in Class 3A. I can't think of a harder start to that season than that quartet.
They certainly weathered it as best they could. Unfortunately, that experience may not pay off for them here. Interior pass wide open, off the glass and in. And when the shots have been falling all half like they've been for Tartan, Joseph Kearney will take that one, and we have a timeout here by the Polars. As it'll be a brief 30-second timeout here. And again, going back to those schedules, Tartan had a pretty good schedule, a pretty challenging schedule as well. And the only 2 losses, again, Edina and Matamidi, both 2 teams, but they blew through everybody else.
They did, winning the Metro East Conference. Got the split with Matamidi, won that second meeting. My only reason, or my only thought behind Tartan being the 3 seed, even though they won the conference, the Metro East does have some 3A teams, and then some of their non-conference opponents maybe don't jump out at you. Richfield, Elk River, Andover. That's not to say they're terrible teams or they're not, those wins don't mean anything, but when you look at Eastridge, Cretin-Durham Hall, the Suburban East always a tough conference, and when that section, 5 of those teams are in that conference, sometimes the coaches will help each other out. That's been an issue Tartan has discussed over the last few years, but Tartan, you could have given them the 2. Again, tough to tell when you look at schedules, who they face. Cretin-Durham Hall, I think, playing a higher assortment of top teams in 4A. That may have given them the edge. But as I say, playoffs are a chance to prove your worth no matter what your seed is.
Deep 3-ball for Carter, way too strong as rebound is picked up here by Tartan. So carry the ball into the front court, foul called. This one should be on DeJuan Carter, and the Titans will head to the line again. Now again, we've talked about section seating before. There's been a movement to start having computers determine seating, specifically using Minnesota-scores.net's QRF ranking to seed teams, and some sections doing that. Do you see that being part of the future in Class 4A?
That is tough. They do it in 1A and 2A. And I will share that thought to the next dead ball here.
It's Muhammad as the Polars get a break with the missed free throw attempt on the 1-and-1. Muhammad will work it here on the near side. He's got some space now. Muhammad working in. I thought we could have had a foul called there, but none comes. Kimmons back the other way. Kimmons double team, no foul there. There it is. It's a jump ball is ruled.
Simultaneous possession.
I thought for sure that we had a foul there on Kimmons' way to the basket.
And when your defender swings down, that's often the case. Sometimes officials aren't cognizant about that, but North St. Paul looked like all ball from here.
His interior pass taken away by the Polars as they'll start a rush back the other way. Lost the handle. Muhammad picks it back up. Muhammad working around the defense. Nice little move into the paint. Interior pass off the glass and in. A nice play for Aaron Murphy to get on the scoreboard for the Polars. Back the other way, 2:35 remaining, 35-16 they lead. Another nice rush into the paint. As that was Singer making that play. Into the front court, the Polars will take it. Langford Johnson has the ball. Onto the far side, Langford Johnson gets it back from Aaron Murphy. Around a fake screen. Langford Johnson trying to negotiate traffic. He's trying to work into the paint. Spin move to the basket, puts it up. No foul called there. Tartan will pick up the loose ball. To the wing, Kimmons for three. No good, too strong. Rebound picked up Lasso by the Polars. Foul called, and Tartan will head to the line again.
So to finish your thoughts on QRF seating in the higher classes, I'm not sure. It would take away any coaching bias when it comes to conference affiliation, but one quirk about the QRF, it does not take any consideration into teams outside the state. Tartan played Superior, for example, and De La Salle, we mentioned earlier, they play a lot of teams. They beat one of the top teams from Alabama earlier this year. And that might remove the incentive to schedule those high caliber opponents, especially outside the state. And what it could also do, QRF penalizes you if you play a lower class, so you might see more 4A schools reluctant to go up against a De La Salle or a Matamidi in non-conference play, even though there are strong teams. The computer can help, but I don't think it can replace the eye test. And like Matamidi, De La Salle, for example, they're 3A teams, but they can hang with the best in 4A.
2 for 2 from the line was Langston Bittens, excuse me. As the Polars will look to respond. One-handed shot, nice. Sky hook there, and a good play by LaRon Thomas. As they'll pull here, 39-20 your score. The minute 33 remaining in this first half. So work around the perimeter again. Kearney, interior pass looking for Weems. Weems dishes it out for three. He got it. Square on Dorian Singer for three as the Tartans cross the 40-point threshold.
North St. Paul cheated too much inside. I don't know how Singer got that open, but he made the most of it.
There's Muhammad on that far side, works around a physical screen, working back out. Interior pass as he lost the handle on the way to the net. They race to the ball. If it's a jump ball, it'll be Polar ball. It's exactly what we'll get. And the ball will stay in the front court.
And more often than not, when you see North St. Paul on the drive, they're not getting a lot of open space in the lanes. Compared to Tartan, where open threes, going inside, they just seem to be getting the ball and positioning themselves where they're getting clean looks. North St. Paul, they're having to fight for it, and that's one reason why they've struggled so much down low in this half.
DeJuan Carter on the far wing around the perimeter. He's trying to work back into the paint. Another sky hook there. Rebound control by Kimmons as he'll take the ball back the other way.
And that doesn't help matters when you do get open. Carter, he's been off his game.
Kimmons into the front court here further on the near side for Langston Bittens. Bittens for Kimmons again. Back out far. Here's Bittens again. Working back for Kimmons. Again, no particular effort. Up by 22 are the Titans. No rush to add to that point total by any means. trying to work his way in. Kimmins lost the handle. Muhammad taking it back the other way. Muhammad up and in, trying to go for the and one, but did not connect the shot in the first place. Rush back the other way. Kimmins working into the paint. Smart move to push it outside for three. Too strong as it hit the back of the rim. And the Polars can carry back into the front court here. 6 seconds ago. They should get the last shot. Muhammad trying to work around the tight defense there of the Titans. Puts a shot off at the horn, hits the rim. And a resounding first half effort by the Titans as they lead 42-20.
On both sides of the ball, Dorian Singer, a microcosm of how well Tartan defended in this half. Knowing Mohammed with enough space can knock down three-pointers, didn't let him get a good look. You saw that wild shot at the end. Tartan, I'm not sure how they built up a 22-point lead. These two teams aren't that far apart, but Tartan knocking down shots. North St. Paul, I think, as more and more possessions came up empty, it got in their heads a little bit.
Well, come on back here. Still 18 minutes of basketball to play. Grab yourself a hot dog, something to drink. We'll be right back. This is your home for Titan and Polar basketball, SCC Sports.
I expect it to be a lot easier.
I didn't know what step to take next.
I was transitioning from the military.
My friends thought I could do anything.
I missed my unit, my family.
Playing with my daughter, I felt like a stranger.
I didn't have a clear sense of what to do next.
And then I thought, if I'm going through this, other veterans have gone through it too, right?
I started to open up.
And I saw that I wasn't alone.
We are not alone. Other veterans have transitioned from the military and overcome mental health challenges. Visit maketheconnection.net.
Well, it's been home cooking for the Tartan Titans here so far as they've doubled up the North St. Paul Polars, and they lead at the start of the second half by a score of 42-20. Alongside Mike Peden, I'm Alex Westhead. And Mike, at the start of our broadcast tonight, we talked about the impact that the seniors would have, specifically DeJuan Carter and Antoine Kimmins for their respective clubs. So far, only one of them has really showed up.
And that was Kimmins. DeJuan Carter, I don't know what's gotten into him, and I don't say that as a detriment, but had a rough start, and it just seems to be snowballing. A lot of drives, a lot of missed layups, and only 7 points. Feels like he could have 17, maybe 20 with how many touches he's received.
Tartan starts the ball with a turnover here to start the second half. Runner into the lane, a little too strong off the glass, but he got a foul to go with it. Laron Thomas headed to the line for two.
And even though he's not a senior, Shaheem Mohammed, oh no, it's going the other way.
Oh, it is.
Shaheem Mohammed just 5 points, only 0 for 2 from three-point range. So not only is he struggling to score, North St. Paul is struggling to get him involved in offense.
Kimmins takes the ball back the other way as the Polars will go for a full court press. Ineffective this time as they're able to bring up the ball in behind the defense, trying to put it up off the hook, and in we have a whistle. It'll be North St. Paul basketball.
It looked like Carter may have made some contact there. I thought he may have pushed off on Aganwanye a little bit.
That's what I thought too, so I thought we were going to get a foul there, but again, that makes me, both of us 0 for 2 on fouls here in the second half, but hey, that's all right.
We're not doing too good, are we?
That one is a foul this time. Actually, it'll be a foul. DeJuan Carter headed to the line.
We've redeemed ourselves. But this might be a good chance for Carter. He's 3 for 5 unofficially at the free throw line, but just to see that ball go in. North St. Paul not out of it, but they need to clean it up in terms of efficiency here.
Carter hits the first shot. Carter, Langford Johnson, West Zimple, Muhammad. And the ball rebounded there. Laron Thomas rounds out the 5 on the court for the Polars. As it's a nice play here by Mikhail Weems as he takes it into the front court. They're further along now for Singer. Interior pass looking for Kimmins. Dishes it back out for Weems for 3. A little too strong. Hit the rim as two players fouled down before the rock even got there. We take him back into the front court now. Polars with a rush. Looked like he carried a little bit, but he gets it to go. A nice play again by Laron Thomas. The score now 42-23. Tartan leading. And Tartan has led as we get a timeout here taken by Tartan, as head coach Mark Klingsborn does not like the start to the second half that Tartan has had.
And you might think, why would you call a timeout when you're up by 19? But as you noted, Tartan looking a little sluggish. North St. Paul with a little more pep in their step. And what you don't want to do is let the other team build up a run, because momentum always crucial, especially in a one-and-done format.
Well, in this one-and-done format, tonight's winner will go to play in the Section 4 4A semifinals. Those will be at Hastings High School coming on this Saturday, weather permitting, of course.
I was going to say we might want to exchange basketball for skiing. Whoever skis to Hastings first will win it.
And they will play the winner of the Cretin-Durham Hall Stillwater Pony game. Again, as we've talked about already, most likely Cretin-Durham Hall. And again, the other final will be East Ridge, most likely, against either White Bear Lake or St. Paul Central. And a game going on right now, all 4 of those games actually going on right now, including the one that you are watching on your television or YouTube screen. This ball can be inbounded here by the Titans. Singer pushes it further in for Antoine Kimmins as he'll start the ball.
Now, if you're able to make it down there, if the semifinals are played as scheduled or if they get rescheduled, check them out. That's going to be a fun duo of games, whoever gets through.
Weaves the slam! We haven't seen a slam dunk tonight. It's the first one for Weems, and it was a beauty.
And that electrified the crowd, and perhaps fitting that the student section brought out the jerseys. They might want to look into getting a few replicas. Weems, I didn't know he had that vertical. He's got a sister who is also pretty lengthy at De La Salle, and she'll be playing for another section championship tomorrow.
Ball into the front court here now by the Polars. Langford Johnson. It's surprising we've only seen the one dunk so far, perhaps more to follow. Hopefully more.
Nevertheless, that was a big ATO sequence for Tartan. Get the throw down, get the crowd in your favor.
Ooh, nice jump step there as the basket converts for the Polars.
And if the Polars have any chance of an upset, that's what Carter has to do. Convert down low.
Lead is 19 for Tartan. Weems trying to work it around the defense, looking for some motion. Weems running in, lost the handle. Can be taken back the other way by the Polars. On the far side, Carter dished it further. Nice ball movement for 3. Too strong in and out. Picks up his own rebound. Dishes it back out. Carter almost has it knocked out of the air. Trying to put it back out of bounds off the Titans. Polar basketball.
That was a rather weak tip-in by Twyman, and you see this quite a bit, especially near the paint. You get the rebound, and right away you want to throw it up. There are some situations where the call dictates it, but other times, give yourself a minute, get yourself in position, and throw up a shot with better form.
Langford Johnson will inbound from his own baseline, pushed it further, gets it back, open look, had the 3, deferred. Langford Johnson working his way, nice spin move into the paint. He gets a foul, he'll head to the line. And again, anytime you get points and a shot at the free throw line, the charity stripe will bode well if they can continue to get there for the Polars.
Polars just 4 of 9, but Langford Johnson worked out for him. Lane opened up and decided to go after it. His take to the rim, we'll see what it does here, but as much as we've discussed the issues with North St. Paul tonight, we don't want to take away from the fantastic senior season DeJuan Carter had. When you look at the players North St. Paul lost last year to graduation, Good News Capegial comes to mind there. A lot of folks thought North St. Paul, this would be a lean year, and even though their record isn't the most stellar in this section, they played a lot of tough competition. DeJuan Carter really stepping up throughout this season up until the night.
Langford Johnson 2 for 2. You mentioned the name Good News Capegial. Certainly headed off to Kansas State as a redshirt this year, and the Wildcats happy to have him as from 3. A little too strong as rebound controlled here again by the Titans. Up there, in and up, nice play. Dante Agamiami makes that play, and he'll head to the line.
Tartan's just feeling it. I'm sure coaches or players could give you some great extemporaneous speech as to how they're dominating, but they're just attacking. They're getting themselves open. They don't look rattled at all.
It's a 3-point play converted there by Aganwami. And the Polars will look to carry the ball back into the front court. Just here on the near side. Back out to the point, Langford Johnson running in, found Carter in low. Carter puts it up, but he gets the foul, and he'll head to the line for 2 as the foul's starting to come a little bit quicker here too. 3 fouls already for Tartan in the second half.
And one reason they're coming a little more quickly, North St. Paul able to penetrate it down low, and when you get inside like that, how many times have we seen teams are a half step behind, you try to get the stop, and instead you get hit with a foul. That's Tartan's 4th. but North St. Paul leaving a lot of free throws blank.
It's a third personal foul on Antoine Kimmins as well. Something to consider as the game continues to move on.
Oh,
Carter misses both shots. That's huge for the Polars.
5 of 13 from the line.
And when they give you the free ones, 5 of 13 is not going to work. The ball worked on the far side, passed a little bit too far from Weems, but it's gotten to here now by Singer. Singer working further here now for Kearney. Kearney from the free throw line, the elbow. As the ball goes out, and it can be rebounded again here by North St. Paul onto the far side. DeJuan Carter. Carter with some space. Nice hook shot there, and he converts. 47-26, your 28 rather, your score. As a lead for Tartan now 19. It's Kimmins trying to work the ball around. Gotten further. Ball picked up here. Runner into the lane, dished further along. Kimmins trying to go up and in. A nice follow and a put back shot waved off. Kimmins down on the floor, waiting for a teammate to help him. Certainly hope the senior is okay. The foul is called on Langford Johnson, and Kimmins will head to the line. This is third.
By the way, entering this trip here, Tartan 8 of 9 from the free throw line. 8 of 9 to 5 of 13. Now 9 of 10. And Kimmins, while he's at the line, he exploded early with 14 points, but something that helped the Titans later on, you saw Dorian Singer step up later with 12 points, Joe Kearney with 8. So Tartan getting a lot of help from their big names, and when you saw the box scores entering this matchup, that is how Tartan can beat you. They may not have the most explosive score, the flashiest team, but that starting 5, a highly capable unit.
It's Carter, runner into the lane, knocked down. Oh, Taglin picks it up and puts it in. Nice work, young man, to get that rebound.
Right place, right time.
Kimmins looking to carry the ball into the front court. 48-30, your score. 13:35 remaining in this game. Kimmins trying to work around the defense. Dished it further here. Kale Weems. Pass inside, looking for some help. So work around the screen. Gonna keep play alive further. Again, this effective perimeter ball movement has done well. It goes out of bounds, but it stays here. And the Titans will have a chance to work with the ball again. Be Whalen to inbound right in front of his own bench. Gets it back out for Kimmins. He'll swing around. Looking for a chance as Weems holds it. Plenty of room, plenty of space there. Kearney for Kimmins now. Back for Kearney again. So work it down and low. Again, good pressure, good defense here by the Polars. The Titans do not have to take a shot by any means.
And as we saw with St. Cloud Apollo, they won't if the defense gives it to them.
Still worked around the perimeter. Now a runner into the lane, dished it back out. Smart play. Kimmins defers again. Great ball movement by the Titans as they convert the three-point play. Joseph Kearney.
You think that was great ball movement? That was excellent ball movement.
Polars back into the front court. As they trail by 21. Turnover there, loose ball. It's gotten to. They'll continue to battle for it. It's picked up now by Whalen for the Titans. And now Kearney can take it back the other way. It's Kearney over the center line. Gonna be gotten further again. Into the corner, into the student section. Unfortunately, that's not a souvenir you can take home with you. It'll be North St. Paul basketball.
No, and as I understand at your other job at the Vadnais Sports Center, I don't think you can take road pucks with you either.
No, unfortunately not. As we have the inbound here from Langford Johnson on the far side. They'll slow things up. Tartan starting to ease back on the full court press that they worked so well in that first half, excuse me. Here's Langford Johnson, top of the key. Getting further from Muhammad as he takes a short-range elbow shot. He got fouled on the way in. He'll head to the line, as that'll be the 5th team foul on Tartan in the second half.
Shaheem Muhammad, a transfer from Woodbury. I think he was the big difference and a big help for North St. Paul that He helped them beat some predictions about where they would finish this year, even though their regular season mark was 16-10. Having that three-point option, whatever happens to the Polars tonight, he's going to be a great anchor for this team next year. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up on the short list of leading scorers in the state.
Muhammad makes both shots. 51-32 your score. Whalen, Weems for Kimmons again. Kimmons defended well. They're trying to get some motion to get him in. Kimmons dishes it off. Open, look for three. He got it. Wide open, Langston Binns hits the three-point shot. And again, the extension of this lead. A nice runner into the lane, though, back the other way by Kimmons. Gets it to go. But again, responding three-point trips with two-point trips. It's not going to work and has not worked for North St. Paul.
11 triples for the Titans.
Whalen, back for Weems. Again, they'll dribble it back out. Binns working around. Nice couple of steps there. Ball gotten to here by Muhammad for the Polars. A nice steal there on the intercepted pass. Muhammad working his way in. Shot, offensive foul called against the Polars.
I saw it as soon as Muhammad went up. Whalen hung outside the restricted zone, found his spot, just waited for the contact. Whalen read that play all the way. Another testament to Tartan's defense. And if you follow the sport of basketball, you may know the TC Hoopsar, Kevin Alstein, issued his better than chalk predictions, and that's not to say his are better than everyone else, but he likes to make a stab at what teams might be in position to make an upset. Again, better than chalk. And he felt Tartan, if they can get out of this round, they would have a good chance of winning the semifinal on Saturday, and defense is a big reason why.
Weems does not shoot the three ball, goes all the way back to Binns, and we see there the impact that the restricted arc has. Only implemented a couple of years ago, a recent addition as a three-point ball there, but he'll get the foul and he'll shoot three, will be Binns. As again, the success from the free throw line will work again for Tartan here in this one. But again, we talk about that restricted arc. How do you think it has impacted the game?
This is the first year it's been in place at the high school level, and I feel it's opened up the floor a little bit more. You don't have defensive 3 seconds yet, but what it does do is it takes away folks down low, because before you could drive to the paint and somebody would just hang out down there and wait for the charge call. Well, now you can't do that because they'll be hit with a blocking foul. And I think it's going to create a safer game as well, because with that, you're not going to have as many people, as you know, near the basket. That's where a lot of chaos can ensue. And what you don't want are people tripping up over each other and causing a silly injury.
2 shots for Binns. He's got 1 more to go. We'll have another substitution here as Dewan Carter will come out, briefly replaced by Sean West Zimple. The 3rd shot upcoming here for Langston Binns. Again, a very full gym here, Tartan High School. He converts all 3 shots. And the lead now 57-34 with the Titans leading. Muhammad trying to carry the ball into the front court. He's finally able to get it there from way downtown. He got it! Nice shot there from Shahid Muhammad.
So North just needs to shoot from Steph Curry range, and they'll work their way back in this. Go figure. A deep 3 goes in when many other shots haven't.
Kearney works around the defense, but loses the ball. We gotten 2 here. Could not pick it up there as he had that pivot foot down. Runner from Muhammad. No look pass up the glass and in. That's a nice play from Muhammad to Murphy. Those are the baskets that, even though we're running out of time here, those are the baskets that the Polars are going to need to start falling.
And a nice recovery by Murphy, and you're exactly right. Polars, they need to string a series of these possessions together. The problem is, as you noted, time against them. And Tartan, we know they'll play deliberately, so you've got to get some steals.
Weems for Kimmons. Weems, they seem to double team the ball carrier. There's the foul there.
Last to get for the Polars.
And again, you figure that you're going to have to start doing that at some point too, as they're double teaming the ball carrier. I guess the ball holder, since nobody's really rushing the basketball in this one. As they inbound from their baseline, back in low, Kimmons works around the defense. He puts it off the glass and in. Antoine Kimmons, have a night, young man.
17 points, and North St. Paul, I think, forgot he was there. Often when the inbounder puts the ball in play, you run your sets, you think they'll get back in formation. You know, once Kimmins gets rid of the ball, he can go in there, and Brendan Langford-Johnson scores on the other end. A highly alert play by Tartan, one of many tonight.
Nice runner play for Langston Johnson. It goes all the way back out. Weems for Binns now. Binns trying to work around the defense. Whalen taking it way back out. Solomon Whalen trying to work around some great defense too. Extreme pressure on the ball carrier at this time. As Weems tries to fake the move. He'll pull it back. Kimmins trying to navigate Binns for where to go. It's Whalen. Down and low for Weems again. Weems working into the paint, trying to dish it off. Whalen, nice save. For three for Binns, got it! 62-41, Tartan leads.
I know they've been up big, but as far as the psyche goes, that might be the dagger right there. You had Tartan off balance, they still knocked down a three. And there's a steal.
Weems for Kimmins in the front court. Can be gotten further here now for Weems. Weems gets it again as he plays catch with Whalen. Weems working into the paint, trying to slam, but denied by Brendan Langford-Johnson. What a play.
They call a foul.
They did call a foul. That's too bad. You see Damian Johnson doesn't like it. He wants an explanation. Because I thought it was just a good block.
And it's tough when the whistle comes late like that. That's the last foul on Langford-Johnson, so he's out of the game. It's a tough foul to go out on. From up here, it looked clean. But again, when you swing down, whether or not you make contact, the officials may not pick up on the nuances or sometimes the gap of inches between a defender and the ball or a defender and another defender. And Langford-Johnson, unfortunate on his end.
First shot from Weems, no good. So for Langford-Johnson, he'll end his, bearing the comeback, he'll end his junior season here. Not quite the way that he had wanted it to go, but again, the play that we both thought was pretty good defense goes the way of the Titans again as we get substitutions coming in. Mikhail Twyman, will come into the game. He'll replace Sean West-Simple. As Carter carries it into the front court, he'll take it all by himself off the glass. Nice play. Again, the aggressive full court press from the Polars will have to be employed again. It's Kimmins, so get it across the half-court line. We've gotten further now. Weems here for Kimmins. Kimmins dishes it back out. Great ball movement. Whalen for three. Too weak, I guess. It hits the rim and goes back out. Now runner for Muhammad on the fast break, up and off the glass. Again, these nice plays that we've seen of late from North St. Paul. Where have these been all game, especially in the first half? We get a timeout on the floor. This one called by Tartan. 63-45. Again, the lead 8. That's as far as North has been able to pull within here in the second half.
And the problem for the Polars, they're not able to get enough stops on the other end. And as you were asking me earlier, where do we see this? Sometimes in this sport, you run into a bad half. And with North St. Paul, we mentioned 16-10, but they played a bevy of high-quality teams. We mentioned that brutal start to the season. They played Eden Prairie back in January. They're a top 10 team. And Damian Johnson scheduled those teams in hopes of preparing them for the playoffs, but I think what it's going to come down to were the layups. And I imagine the first practice of next season, they might put an emphasis on layup drills because North St. Paul had a few more gone in. This will be a closer game, and this team's certainly a lot better than the score suggests. But that shot chart, I can't imagine that first half shot chart is going to look any good for the Polars. That was the difference in this one.
Well, and for Damian Johnson, the former Gopher, certainly happy with the win last night over the Purdue Boilermakers.
Many feel it will get them into the NCAA tournament as an at-large if they don't win the conference tournament.
Meanwhile, back to the high school court.
And speaking of, when we were discussing Tartan's defense and why they might be able to pull off an upset or two, if Cretan does move on in their quarterfinal as we expect them to, the Raiders can put up a lot of points, but they're not as strong on the defensive side as Tartan is. And with that team graduating just about everybody from last year's state championship squad, you know, for a group like Tartan, unless something weird happens, you know, the Titans, who've had a history of success, a strong pedigree in this sport, but not a lot to show for it as far as section titles go, this might be a chance for them to sneak in there.
Tartan missing the free throw. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be North St. Paul basketball. 8 team fouls now called on the Polars compared to 5 only for Tartan. Now the Polars will carry the ball into the front court. It's Kimmons. I'm sorry, not Kimmons, Carter. Carter off the glass, gets the foul. A block is called, and that'll send DeJuan Carter to the line.
It looked like Waylon was set up outside the zone, but if he had to move along, I don't know how the rule applies. In college, you can move as long as you have legal guarding position. Down here, I'm not exactly sure, but in either event, I think Waylon had to slide over a little bit to keep up with Carter and got hit with a foul that time.
Carter hits the first shot.
And that's the last foul to give for the Titans. So the Polars, if they attack here, might be able to get some more looks at the line, but they are 8 of 17, Tartan 13 of 17.
Into the front court, Tartan will carry the ball. Can be gotten further now, way past there. An ill-advised pass, certainly, as Carter carries the ball in. He'll run to the paint. Sky hook, nice play there by DeJuan Carter. And after a slow start to the first half, he's been very hot here in the second.
12 points in this half.
Turnover there. Oh, a foul that could have been called there on Waylon as Muhammad hit the deck. Carried in Kimmons. Here on the near side, Kearney. Double teamed again as they'll continue to double team the ball holder. A nice play there. He gets it to go. Antoine Kimmons.
What
great
a take.
play.
Right, what a take. That's confidence, that's talent, determination to get through 2 defenders like that and pull off the up and under. Like I said, I think a few folks might look back and regret not taking this kid. Idaho State, they're going to get an outstanding offensive creator.
Mikhail Twyman has his 5th foul. He's fouled out. The first shot, well, the shot to complete the 3-point play by Kimmons is good.
And another 20-point game for Kimmons.
66-48, 6:04 and counting remaining. It's Muhammad trying to work around the screen. Some great defense there by Tartan. Up and in. A strong throw there, trying to get that into the basket. The ball can be picked up here now by Tartan. Pass off the boards. I guess the court would count as boards for Waylon on the far wing. Waylon back at the point. Can be gotten here further along now for Kearney. Back for Binns, and then Antoine Kimmons again. Singer trying to work around. Again, they'll continue to wind the clock down as much as they can. Interior pass to the paint, looking to go. Lost the handle on it. A great steal there by the Polars. Carter dished it for Muhammad for 3. Too strong. Gotten there by the rebound, though, for the Polars. A foul, and they'll head to the line as that'll be Aaron Murphy to take the 2.
And you have to appreciate the grit you're seeing out of North St. Paul. You know, this game looks like it's going to be out of reach, but the Polars, they're still getting after it again. Might be a different story if they converted some more shots, especially down low in the first half. But, you know, this Polars team, going in, everyone knew there was going to be some transition. We mentioned Capegiol and Kansas State. Well, he'll be looking forward to taking part in that Kansas State-Kansas series with the success the Wildcats have had this season. But Damian Johnson, he knows the sport, and sometimes it takes a little while to build up that sustained level. And this Polars team, even before his arrival, you remember, I think it was 2016 when they made state in a surprise bid in Section 4-4A. They'll be all right.
Taglin comes back in to replace Aaron Murphy. Titans will have to try to get the ball into the front court as a full court press again employed by the Polars. A turnover there, nice play. It can be gotten here by Sean West Zimple on the steal. Carter into the lane, trying to pull it back, but he gets the foul. He'll head to the line for 2. As that'll be for Tartan, that'll be the 8th team foul. They're already now in the 1-1, but it's a shooting foul, so 2 shots upcoming.
And this North St. Paul team, from what I've seen out of them tonight and what I've observed in the other games that we had them on for SEC coverage, sometimes you're going to have a bad night with layups, but the free throws, they're shooting about 50%. Well, they get both to fall that time. That's not going to win you a lot of games. That's something I think they'll have to clean up in future seasons, because you'll never know when you'll need those freebies.
The deficit 15 for North St. Paul. Inside 5 minutes remaining in this basketball game. Again, the double teaming of the ball carrier continued to be employed here by the Polars. Another turnover, though, and they can take it back the other way. Rushing to the front court, fouled from behind there. Ball up and in. A nice play by Muhammad.
I thought that would have been a foul. Refs let them play on, and Shaheed Mohammed, that was just guts there. And now this could get interesting if the Polars can get another turnover here.
Kimmins, long pass into the front court. Can be gotten back for Whalen. Whalen, interior pass looking for Kimmins. Draws it up and one. Antoine Kimmins continues his dominance on the court tonight.
As I said earlier, you can drop a strategy for this guy. He'll find another way to take it to the rim. He's comfortable, great floor awareness, knows where he is, knows when to go up. How do you stop that? He can pass, he can shoot, he can drive.
Kimmins converts the three-point play. So try to carry the ball back into the front court, and they'll be able to do so. 69-53 your score. Up in the lane, off the wrong side of the rim. Loose ball, pushed out. We have a call right on the line. North St. Paul basketball.
That's a call you can live with. Whalen diving for it. You're not going to chide him too much for being out of bounds there. But every time North St. Paul, as we noted before, when it looks like they're going to build some momentum, build some energy, Tartan, especially Kimmins, finds a way to answer on the other end.
Polars will inbound from their baseline.
Kimmins with that amazing first step of his, tough to contain.
Here's Carter. Working around the defense. Nice spin move to pull it back. Up, runner to the glass. Nice play there by DeJuan Carter.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see Carter playing at the next level.
69-55. Deficit is 14, as close as North St. Paul has been in this half. Double teamed. Foul called there. This one will go against the Polars again, and they'll head to the line with 10 team fouls. I believe that's double bonus worthy at this point. So there'll be 2 shots now for every foul the rest of the way. And it'll be Mikhail Weems to take the 2 shots here for Tartan.
I think the P announcer said Antoine Kimmins, if I heard him correctly. Well, we're all allowed a mulligan, right?
We do. We are. We certainly do. Substitutions. Tagland off for the Polars. Not quite see who came on for him. He's got one more shot upcoming here to Mikhail Weems.
And Weems kind of all over the board in this series. He had 15 in the first meeting and failed to score there. Go figure, Tartan gets an offensive rebound. They are everywhere they need to be.
Weems pulls it back, trying to get it there. A turnover now. DeJuan Carter under the paint. He couldn't get it to go. Back the other way, Kimmins into the front court, into the paint, trying to pull it back, off and in. We get a foul called. And this time it'll be Mikhail Weems again going to the line as we have some more conversations after the whistle.
Weems taking exception to that play. Maybe he felt North St. Paul intentionally fouled him there.
Tartan is led by as many as 23. They lead right now by 14. Just under over 3 minutes here in the second half.
And some of the Tartan folks around here feel Matamidi has become their big rival. We saw that in football this year and some of the other sports, but you know, these are district rivals. They have been for years. Those regular season doubleheaders pack the house, and when, as you said, you get to see each other a lot, sometimes you get a little sick of each other, if you know what I mean.
Both shots good for Weems. 71-55, the Titans lead. Muhammad into the front court. He'll work around the screen. Shots have to come quickly for North St. Paul, and they're going to need some defensive stops. Lost the handle. That's not going to help you either. It'll be Tartan ball.
I'm not sure if Aaron Murphy was looking to go up or if he was looking for a passing target, but just flabbergasted on that sequence, and that's unfortunate.
Ball gotten here by Tartan. It's Whalen working around the full court press. A turnover. Muhammad to the basket. A nice play. 71-57. Tartan leads now. It's Kimmins. Back gets it there first side for Weems. Weems has it again, spinning it further. Looking back. You hear some of the North St. Paul parents trying to go for the dunk, and it's taken away by Carter. Carter trying to take it to the basket himself. He had Muhammad open, but he gets the foul. He should head to the line for two.
You're right, Muhammad was open, but sometimes you see an open lane, you're in transition, you commit to attacking the lane no matter what's in your path, and we'll see if he can make these free throws, but with time running out, who knows? And if Muhammad doesn't make a three-pointer, then we don't bring this up, right? But
first shot no good for Carter, as Langston Binns will return to the game, replacing Solomon Whalen. Taglin back into the game as well, replacing Aaron Murphy. Carter hits the second shot. 71-58 your score. 13-point deficit. Muhammad quickly on the defense. We have a whistle, double dribble. And again, these are the breaks that the Polars are starting to get to keep this one interesting.
And in these late game scenarios, as Tartan calls another timeout, sometimes you see a team play conservatively, and we know Tartan is willing to do that as far as using the clock in their favor, but when you get up big, sometimes you lay off a little bit. You're looking just to get out of here, run out the clock, and finish the job. And then sometimes the other team, they'll throw the full court press on you. It's starting to bug Tartan a little bit. I don't know if they're mentally still in it, if you know what I mean.
2:22 remaining in the second half. Again, the lead was 21 at the half for Tartan, but the Polars have been able to cut it to a 13-point deficit. And again, lots of basketball to be played, but that clock winding dangerously out of time for the Polars to have any chance of getting back into this one.
If you're North St. Paul, just keep bringing the pressure. It's paid some dividends for you, and I think Mark Klingsborn is reminding his Tartan team, hey, this game isn't over yet. We can't play not to lose. And I think, when you're up big again, you kind of feel that cushion, like, all right, we've got this. Well, there's still time, and we've seen some crazy comebacks, so you got to finish the job and make sure you put a stamp on this one. And it's going to be North St. Paul ball, so they'll have a chance to make this interesting. There's the three.
Outside for Carter for three. He got it. They're within 10. As Tartan again will have to work against the full court press. Ball lost, still held in though. Kimmins gets it further ahead for Weems for some safety. Weems pass for Binns, up the glass and in. That's exactly the stop that they needed to get there. 73-61, 2 minutes remaining. Carter for three, too strong. Rebounded back in a chance here for Kimmins. A slam!
Tartan not playing conservatively there.
Nice slam for Antoine Kimmins as DeJuan Carter trying to work on the defense. He can't do it all by himself as Kimmins gets the steal back the other way. Kimmins on the boards. He puts it up and in. That's the exact rush and a great time out there again by Mark Klingsborn to settle his team down. Muhammad for Taglin. Taglin blocked out of the way, but a foul.
The foul notwithstanding, you saw the difference. That Tartan team looked energized and focused. And it was set up a bit of a fortuitous situation when Kimmins almost lost it. North St. Paul went in for the double on the corner. Well, that took them away from the middle. That opened things up, and that allowed Tartan to start this quick 6-0 run.
10th team foul on Tartan for what it's worth. Taglin hits the first shot. Again, his father, Gene Taglin, the new head football coach of the North St. Paul Polars, he's in attendance tonight. Taglin's second shot, he's good, 2 for 2 from the line. 63, 71, 77. Had to make sure I saw that right, and the runner makes it 79 points for Tartan as they'll go up and in. We have a whistle.
And I like what Tartan is doing here. Executing in transition. Yeah, they're up big and they've got the win locked up, but following that last timeout call, they've sped things up and they're not giving North St. Paul any signs of life. And here's another example.
Ball tipped out back the other way. As Kimmins will carry it into the front court. Kimmins trying to work around. A nice play to still get that off. We've talked about it a couple of times. How Antoine Kimmins is not at a higher school is beyond me because the kid can play.
He can play indeed. And a fitting encore if that is his last basket in this gym because it's neutral territory from here on out.
Well, it looks like the Tartan Titans will head to Hastings to play, most likely, as we've said before, the Cretin-Durham Hall Raiders on Saturday.
And that will be a fun matchup with Tartan's defense going up against the electric offense of Cretin-Durham Hall. Jaden King, who can shoot three-pointers. Trey Holloman leading the state in assists as a freshman.
As we get a full timeout called here with 56 seconds remaining, 81. Again, we want to thank our volunteers for working tonight as well. For those of you who may be interested in coming in and working some camera equipment as well, some other things that go into the process of broadcasting a game such as this, feel free to send Arlen an email. He can be found at arlen@scctv.org, and that's Arlen Becker. And again, we certainly hope to see you out here at one of our shoots. Again, the winter sports season wrapping up, but the spring sports, baseball, softball, lacrosse, ultimate frisbee again, hopefully coming up in May. Starting to come into full swing, and hopefully the weather a little more cooperative this year as well.
Indeed. Well, you mentioned winter sports. We got to give a little shout out to our buddy Zach Halverson, who's going to be calling a pretty big game tomorrow over at the X, at least tomorrow in chronological time. This game might be played or will be playing by the time you see this online, but he's going to call some state tournament hockey. I hope he recovered after last week's section final.
Zach Halverson, a longtime employee of Suburban Community Channels, did an excellent job for a number of years, and his work paid off. Into the lane, nice little pullback there for Antoine Kimmins.
You talk about work paying off. All the work that Kimmins has put in over the years. He has a lot of relatives, a lot of support all around the Metro, and it's paying off in a wonderful senior season.
DeJuan Carter, runner to the lane, he got it back off the rim, trying to get his own rebound, still loose. Kimmins puts it on the boards, and he puts it back in. And if that's how DeJuan Carter finishes his career as a North St. Paul Polar, an excellent job finishing the way for him. But a nice steal there, too, almost before it's gotten back here by Binns. Binns will take it back. The Titans are content to wind this last 10 seconds off the clock as the crowd comes to its feet here at the Tartan High School gym. And that will seal it as the Titans will head on to play the Cretin-Durham Hall Raiders upcoming on Saturday. And Mike, a dominant effort from start to finish.
Indeed, Tartan sped up the pace at the end to close out. They had a strong defensive performance in the first half, and almost anything they wanted, they got, whether it was drives, three-pointers. They were running on all cylinders, to use the proverb, and Antoine Kimmins, 29 points. He had a big start to the first half and then came on strong at the end, and that is the kind of effort he brings you. He can score a lot, and as we've seen, when you look at his assist to turnover ratio, he can distribute a lot with high efficiency.
Well, for our entire SCDC production crew, Mike Peden, Arlen Becker, and the guys out in the truck, my name is Alex Westad. Your final score, Tartan 83, North 65. This is your home for Tartan and North basketball. It's SCC Sports.